Hey, Smyrna Elementary students, the results from Tuesday's poll question are in. Thank you to everyone that responded, and I'm happy to see that everyone is getting out to enjoy the nice weather. We're now going to take our data and we're going to create a bar graph. We're using a bar graph because they are used to compare things, and we're comparing hours spent outside. In order to create our bar graph, we're going to do it on a website I've called Math is Fun. And so you can find this website. If you look on my page where it says links, on the left, you click on it, and then right here, there's a link for a bar graph, and it will take you to your site. So there's a couple of important parts that create a bar graph. I use the word tails to help me remember those parts. Tails stands for titles, axis, intervals, labels, and scale. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look on the T for title. And the title of this graph is going to be time spent outside. It's important to give a title to your graph because you want the people that are looking at it to know what in the world they're looking at. The next part is the axis. Now, we're not actually drawing a graph, so the computer actually gave us our axis for us. So the first one is the x-axis, which goes here across the bottom, and it goes left to right. And then we have another axis, which is the y-axis that goes up and down, or vertical. So we also want to give these two parts of the graph titles themselves. So the x-axis that goes horizontal is going to be called or titled hours spent outside, because those were our categories. The y-axis is going to be number of people, because that will show us how many people voted for each one. We're going to actually skip intervals, and we'll get back to those in a minute. But now we're going to go to the labels. And so the labels will go across the bottom on the x-axis. And so we are going to have less than 1, 1, 2, 3, and greater than 3 hours. As you can see, they came up here on the x-axis. And so the intervals would be determined how much space we should have, or what the number should read on the left between each line. So we don't have to actually figure that out. The computer's going to do that for us as I type in the data. So for people that spent less than 1 hour outside, was 5. Then there were 4 people that spent 1 hour outside. There were 14 people that say they spent 2 hours outside today. There were 15 people that say they were out for 3 hours. And then there were 4 people that said that they were out for more than 3 hours. So as you can see, my intervals are going by 1. If I had huge numbers like 200 and 500 and 600, then maybe we would count by 50s. So the intervals would change based on the data. The other part, which is the S, which is the scale, that talks about the smallest number, which is 4, to the largest number, which is 15. And so it just covers that span, but that's not necessarily important to this particular graph or what we're doing right now. So I hope that you enjoyed taking the survey. I hope that you learned a little bit about bar graphs today. And if you have any bar graphs that you create using this site, please send them to me some way so I can see them. If you have any questions, I'm always available. And I look forward to getting your responses on our poll in 2 weeks. Enjoy your spring break, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.